Okay, so today we're going to be making Biscotti Napoletani. And what's in Biscotti Napoletani is we're going to have, my glasses on here so I can tell you what we have. We're going to have 8.5 ounces of all-purpose flour right here. We're going to have 5 1/3 ounces of white sugar, which is 150 grams of white sugar. We're going to have 107 grams of unblanched almonds. That means they have the skin on. That's unblanched. Blanched, they would not have the skin on. And we're going to have another 107 grams or 3 3/4 ounces of unblanched almonds. And then we're going to grind that into a flour. I use the Cuisinart. It doesn't get very, very fine in the Cuisinart because there's some oil still in the almonds, so it sort of clumps it together a little bit. But this is what we do. We grind down 3 3/4 cups of 3 3/4 ounces of unblanched almonds. Then also we're going to have a 1/2 teaspoon of baking soda, a 1/2 teaspoon of baking powder. We're going to have a 1/2 teaspoon of sugar. Of cinnamon. And we're going to have 1/3 of a cup of water. And we are going to have 4 ounces of honey. Okay? Because these are Honey-Almond-Cinnamon Biscotti. Okay? Here we go. So what we're going to do is we're going to mix all of this together except the water and the honey. Okay? So in goes my flour. In goes my sugar. In goes the almond flour. Don't use almond flour you buy in the store. Normally that's made with blanched almonds, and we want unblanched almonds in this recipe. We're going to have our 1/2 teaspoon of cinnamon. And we're going to have our 1/2 and 1/2 baking soda, baking powder. There we go. Now we have the almonds, but I just want to mix this together a little bit before I throw the almonds in here. Okay, so there it is. Any clumps from that powder, from the almond powder, I'm just working it out with my fingertips. There we go, looking good. In goes the whole almonds. Mix them up a little bit just to get them. Okay, next, here we go, let's get these bowls out of the way. Bowls are out of the way. Okay, now we're going to add the water. Okay, mix it around my fingers a little bit. It's coming together and sort of like a dough, but there's not very much water in here. So it's going to be a very dry dough. So there we go. And next comes our honey. Now it's going to get sticky. Let me get a spatula, get what I can get out of here. Okay. And that's our honey. And now I'm going to mix all this together and make a dough. It's a very, very sticky dough, so you might want to wet your hands also when you're doing this, just to help you. It doesn't stick that much, okay? I'm going to wet this hand, because then I can wet this hand with that hand. Okay, so now I can pull this off here. So once I pull this off this hand, I will wet this hand. I probably should have done that first. Would have made this a lot easier. But live and learn, right? Okay, both hands are now wet. Let's see if I can get this dough together without sticking too much to my hands. In the past, I've done this in the KitchenAid with a paddle mixer on slow. Probably is the better way to do it. That way you don't get your hands all sticky. Okay, it's getting there. Just picking up all the loose bits that are stuck to the side of the pan. Here we go. And I believe that's about it, right? I think I got everything out of here. I now have a dough. Okay, there's my dough. This is going to go onto the countertop. This will go into the, I'm going to wash my hands. Okay, I'm going to divide this dough in half and make two 15-inch logs out of them, thusly. Going to come down the middle gently. So there we go. 1, 2. I have two pieces of dough now. Now what I'm going to do is roll this out. I'm going to try it first without flour. See how this works for me. Probably going to need flour. Let me get a little bit of flour. Actually, what I'm going to use, I have some almond flour, so instead of adding more white flour, which has no flavor whatsoever, I'm going to just dust my surface here with almond flour. Okay? And now we'll try and get a bench knife. This looks like it's not going to work very good for me, if you ask me. So I'll roll it out 15 inches. Okay, so what is 15 inches? It's about 3 inches more than my knife. That looks about right. Let's see. That is 15 inches. All right, we're going to take this and move it on to, oh, I'm sorry. I'll do it this way. That is 15 inches, okay? We're going to get a pan lined with parchment paper. We're going to pick this up and put it on the sheet pan lined with parchment paper. Just like that. This is going to spread out when it cooks a little bit, okay? So there's that. Okay, we're going to do one more just like that. Let me move the sheet pan out of the way. Let's come here. Get some more flour on the surface. Okay. Lightly floured, good. Now I'm going to try and roll this. Best way, start in the middle, work out to the edges, just like that. Sometimes it's going to want to fall apart. That's okay. Put it back together again. And keep going. Again, looking for about 15 inches of a nice even log, and I believe that's about 15 inches, and it goes. Okay, so now we have two logs with a nice deal of space between them. This is now going to go into the oven, 350, and we're going to be in there for about, let's see, 30 minutes. Yeah, about 30 minutes. It's going to rise a little bit. It's going to be firm, and it's going to be golden, like a golden, dark golden color. So, in the oven we go. Okay, all right, so time's up. Alexa, stop. Good. Pull these out. There's what they're looking like. They're right in here. Now we're going to let these, I'm going to take them out of the pan, still on the paper, and give them a chance to cool. Okay? Just want them to cool a little bit. Pan's very hot. So you can transfer it out just like that. And just let them cool just a little bit. And then we're going to cut them, put them back in the oven again. Okay? So we're going to let them cool now, and then we're going to put them back in the oven. We're going to let them cool, we're going to slice them, and then we're going to put them back in the oven for another 15 minutes. To harden them up, twist them up, and then we're going to have some nice biscotti. So they've cooled down somewhat. They're still warm. So what I'm going to do now is we're going to take one down on the parchment paper, and then we're going to cut it on the parchment paper. We're going to reuse that parchment paper. We're going to a cutting board. We're going to be cutting this at a 45-degree angle, approximately, into cookie size, okay? I'm using a serrated knife, gently cutting through the nuts. I get like about a half-inch thick cookies. That's what I like, so that's what I'm doing here, okay? Try and hold it still so it doesn't break the cookie. Gently, gently back and forth, just a gentle sawing motion, just to cut through the nuts. If you're hitting, see that one's going to break a little bit, so I'm hitting a nut. I could do, sometimes when it's too hard to cut, I will do that. So I start it, then smack it down straight hard, like that, and then I get a cut. Start it, down, finish the cut. Start it, down, finish the cut. Just like that. That way when you hit the nut that wants to break your cookies apart, it won't. Okay, we're almost done with this one, and I'll show you what we do, and then I'll do the next one. It won't bore you with watching me do it. Okay, so these now are cut. So what we're going to do now is move this over, put our parchment paper back in the pan. Okay, and move my cookies up to here, just so you can see what I'm doing. And here's the pan. I'm going to take each cookie and just lay it on its edge, just like that, on its side, one after the other. And now we're going to cook them again. Oops, that's the one that broke. Okay, the two end pieces, you know, those are what I'm going to munch on after I finish cooking this. Okay, and there we go. So that's one bar, okay, just like that. I'm going to cut the next one, line it up, and then we're going to go back into the oven. Okay, so now, as you can see, they're all cut, they're all laid down. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18, 20, 22, 24, 26, 28, 30, 32, about 32 in that batch. You cut them thinner, you get more. You cut them thicker, you get less. Okay, these are going to go back into the oven at 350 for 15 more minutes, and then we should be done. Okay, I guess time's up. Let's take a look what we got. We have a margarita, Laura's margarita. Alexa, stop, I'm talking. I'll give you the secret. The secret sauce for this is 2 ounces of tequila, 1 ounce of lime juice, 1/2 ounce of triple sec, 1/2 ounce of simple syrup. That's it. It's a perfect margarita. She really knocked this one out of the park. Now, let's get this out of here. So, this should be done. I'm going to shut off the heat. And here we go. And they are out. They feel a little soft, but once they dry out, once they cool down, it's going to be perfect. And once they're dry, I'll take a bite and you can see what it looks like, and I'll let you know how it tastes. And you'll be the judge of that. See you in a couple. Okay, so the cookies are good enough. You might have said a little more. They're still a little warm, but that's okay. But we're gonna have to taste one. I'm gonna taste. Let me break this one off here. I'm gonna taste this one right here. Wow. The almonds, the cinnamon, the honey, it's just really good. Dip this in a little Vincento wine. Oh my God, it's unbelievable. Well, that's it. This is the Honey-Cinnamon Biscotti Napoletani. Ciao.